Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Botany and Board. I am Bailey.
And I'm Wyatt.
And today you're like, I feel like it was like,
Heyo.
well, I thought it was a long delay.
Oh, it was?
It was like, I'm Bailey, and you're like,
okay, Bailey,
I don't know who I am. Okay. Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Botany and Board. I am Bailey.
And I am Wyatt.
Oh, wow.
Too much? We can do it a third time.
Oh, I love it. We'll keep it. Okay, so today we are going to be doing our first list. So
it is our first
we're
list.
doing our top 30 games of all time, folks. 2022 edition. So as of right now, these are in our opinion, the top 30 games of all time. So we're gonna break it up by
top 30 games of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
That we have played and are in our collection. So we're gonna start off. This video will be 30 through 21, and then we'll do
we'll stagger
increments
down.
of 10.
Yep.
Yes. So who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay.
So.
His number 30.
Oh, but I need to bring up my 30, right?
Yours, yeah.
Okay, not guess yours.
Not yet. No, we're gonna.
okay.
Yes, so we're very competitive. So everything is kind of a game. So we each did we used Pub Meeple. So I'll start there. So if you guys have never done that before, you can go to Pub Meeple. You can import your collection from Board Game Geek, and then it just basically goes. It's like this or this, this or this, this or this. So after like what felt like 1,000.
It did. It took a really long time.
Yeah, I think mine did say I went through like it tells you like when you import it, it's like FYI, this will be like this many decisions, but they're really quick. I was like sitting there at brunch like. So anyways, and then it spits out a perfectly nice Excel list for you. So we both did that, and then we went through, and then I guessed his top 30, and then he guessed mine. So then I don't know, we're going to have some kind of internal competition based on who does the best on that. So we'll have to incorporate those maybe at the end. So.
Well, and I technically am ready. We may have to pause and come back because...
Go to my messages with you. I think you...
I did. It just won't let me open it. So I was seeing if we emailed it.
I can start. Do you want me to go first?
Well, I have this one. Let me see if I can open this.
I'll go first.
Oh, no, I have it.
You have it. You're ready.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your number 30?
My 30. Hey, so Bailey should have said, how many did you end up ranking total?
Oh, I ranked my whole collection. So if you're curious, just like, what is Lords of Vegas at? I can tell you. Just not yet. Not until, I don't want any spoilers until we get down to the top 30. So.
And I only ranked 66. And could I rank more? Yes, but Bailey kept telling me, like, if I wasn't going to rank them well, to not rank them at all. Sounded a little motherly, but here we go.
Well, I knew we were only going to, we're only going to show 30.
So do you want to guess mine right now? Do you want to guess what my number 30 is?
Oh, you want me to do that too?
Well, would you like to?
Sure,
you
I
can.
have that. I have it written down. So, everyone, this is what I thought would be Wyatt's number 30. Let me pull up my sheet. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Opening it up. Okay, so Wyatt's number 30. I thought would be Lost Cities.
Ooh.
What is your number 30?
That was a good guess.
Don't do any spoilers.
I'm not going to do any spoilers. Okay. That's a good guess.
Okay, so what is it?
My number 30 was Chronicles of Crime.
Regular or noir?
Ooh, I didn't differentiate. I like them both.
So
Isn't the you gonna do the Becca Scott thing where you're like, whoa? So isn't the noir though just more levels? I really just mean I like the game.
Yes, yeah.
Chronicles of Crime. Whether it's the noir edition, I did like the noir edition.
It did. The noir gives you different, like you could break into the cars.
Yeah, like that, there was and you could like attack people and stuff in that one. It was kind of interesting. So my number 30 was Chronicles of Crime.
Why do you like it? You didn't really say
okay, why I like it. Yeah, I should
I like this game.
I mean, it's not number 1, so I'm not going to talk for days. But number 30, Chronicles of Crime, I chose it because it is... I like the app. I thought it was nice for even collaborative play with friends when they had come over. I thought that it was immersive experience for the people who played it, and it would change with like what you were doing. So as an example, if we spent too much time talking to one person, it would cut things out of the game. We wouldn't have time to get to them, and I thought that was an interesting aspect. Whereas, otherwise, I mean, sure, there's mechanics, but I like I like the app, and I like the real-time sort of like, you need to go do this now, and you need to get to these locations and investigate these people now. And if you miss that timeline, you miss that whole clue. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Chronicles of Crime. So that's not what I thought your number 30 was.
No, but you had a really good guess.
Okay, you have a harder job, because I like so many games. He's pretty easy, like, to know kind of what he likes. So what do you think my number 30 is?
Your number 30 I chose as Athenium.
No.
Was I even close? Where's your list? Break your list out.
You can't know my list. So my number 30.
Your number 30.
Is down here underneath me.
Okay.
Really? The Bloody Inn. The Bloody Inn.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
So this game came out in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I just got it last Christmas. Bloody Inn for Christmas. Nothing like a stocking stuffer about stuffing some bodies. So this game, so this is always on Z Garcia from the Dice Tower. This is always on his top 100, and so he's always, he's talked about it for forever. So then it came back in stock, and then I was like, oh, I better get it, because normally Z and I's taste, as far as all the Dice Tower people, his and I taste align more. Mm-hmm. So when I listen more of Z, if you're hearing this, to your top 100. So there you go.
There you go. I don't even remember. Like, can I see the back of this? I don't even remember the back of this. I don't think I've played this.
I think you played it once, right?
You think I played it?
I've played it a ton solo. So what the Bloody Inn is you basically have this, there's going to be a group of, and we'll kind of like scan some pictures through here so it'll make more sense, but there's a group of visitors that are coming to the inn, and it is your job to then kill them, steal their money, and then you have to bury them before the end of the night. So there's like sheriff cards and different like townspeople, so you want to like kill your guests. But if you don't get them buried...
Sense. That's kind of how Baley and I live life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're going to come over. Here. Oh. But a few of you live.
Those of you who are still alive, you know who you are.
Yes.
So this is Bloody Inn. I play it solo. I thought you'd play it, but maybe not. It plays 1 to 4. There's 2 modes, actually, so you can play a short and a long, and that's one thing I like about it. Like, the rules are pretty simple, easy to get to the table. It'd be an easy one to teach, like, to people who don't game all the time, and just like the theme is like a very quirky. I love anything that's like a little.
I don't think I played it enough.
Yeah.
I'm if this is any depiction of what I expect for the rest of the 29, I'm in big trouble.
He's in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Okay, you're number 29. Oh yeah, 29. I gotta guess.
29.
I gotta guess, right?
You do.
Okay, 29.
And I need to pull it up. Let's see. I will say this. After doing the... Go ahead, though, Bailey.
I think your 29 is Nova Luna.
Ooh, that's an interesting guess. So you can see...
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that.
You're welcome.
Wyatt has a much more camera artistic touch than I do.
That's a lot of credit. You think it's Nova Luna.
Nova Luna. Is that even on?
Don't
tell me. Don't even tell me if it's on your list. Don't give me spoilers.
No, but if you're in the other part of my list, do you want me to tell you where that actually ranked in my list?
No, because that'll be spoiler. Just wait.
Like if it's way down.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like outside of my 30.
Sure. I mean, that's kind of spoiler then, because I know it's not going to come later. Then you're kind of like...
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'd have to look. I don't... It's not 29, so I actually have to find it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just wait. We'll do like an analysis afterwards, I think.
It is on my list. It is still on my list. See, because she has such a big selection, I only did 66. Some of these games she could name might not even be on my list. I might have been like, nope, absolutely not. So, number 29, Sushi Go.
Sushi Go.
Oh, yeah, so what I was going to say is, when you do this thing on BGG, and it has you go and rank these things...
Pub Meeple.
Oh, it's Pub Meeple. So on Pub Meeple, and you go up and down on these things, it did feel like I was even surprised when I saw my own list. Sure, I agree with it. Like, I agree with, like, let's say the top 10. Well, I agree with the top 5 for sure. And then it's like, after that, you're like, how did that beat that? Like, but, I'm sure I second-guessed myself at some point, and I put it in that order with their algorithm. So... my number 29, Sushi Go. I should probably say I love sushi. Like a lot. Like, and in fact, like every Monday, I always want sushi, and that's the only day the sushi place is closed. And then Bailey's always like, "What do you want to eat?" And I'm like, "How about sushi?" He's like, "I don't know." And I'm just like, "Oh God." So, love Sushi Go. I love the topic. You know, the sashimi and the wasabi and passing it around, and it's a very quick card game. Plays 1 to 4 off the top of my head. Probably, I would assume a max good game for this would be 4. It says 5, but. No, it seems like it's pushing it.
Yeah.
But the more people you have, the greater. It's one of those. I take a card, I pass the hand, and then the next person, it goes around the table, and you eventually get that hand back, but it looks differently. So you got to memorize to an extent what each hand is coming to you, and as you select cards, you need to know what's going to come back around the table. It was a good game. I like the simplicity of it, but I also like the competitiveness of it, and I like that. You could immediately thwart the player to your right. Like, so if you're like watching the game, you're like, "Oh, I see that this person's gonna need this." Now, Bailey and I typically play this max of 4 because of our friend groups are only so big. I know everyone here is surprised, but but if we play it 1-on-1, you know, this is a lot of fun because I know I'm directly implicating Bailey every time. I'm like, "Oh, she needs this. I'm gonna just pull it, even if I don't." As long as it's advantageous, of course, for me as well. So yes, my number 29 was Sushi Go.
I prefer this at 4, I would say, over 2.
I think it plays well at 2. I do like it probably at 4 best. 5 sounds a little hectic to me. I've never tried it at 5. I'm sure it's fun, but you know, it's sort of those, like, you know, Catan is fun at 3 for me, I think, and 4 feels a little bit busy without jumping to like the expansion pack and having a 5 to 6. Like, everything gets limited, and so the game kind of gets shorter or a little bit like overwhelmed. It seems like the boards can get overwhelmed, and so in this case, I feel like the cards would just disperse so fast that it wouldn't be quite as fun as getting to see your own hand back again and like calibrating. Does that make sense?
Sure.
You know, like
yeah.
like with 2, we have a lot of that. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I see what's in both hands, and I'm really trying to remember. Right. So yeah. So Bailey, your number 29. I listed Bailey's number 29 as 7 Wonders.
No. It is.
Now, are you sure you don't want to tell me?
Yes.
If it was in below the top 30, just so that I then know what your 29 was. Because I'm going to itch to know, and by the time we get to 1, and you tell me that your number 29 was this, I'll go, of course.
So you just want me to tell you where 7 Wonders is?
If it was below 30. You were saying, like, you thought it'd still come up.
7 Wonders is very far below 30 for me. I know that's probably surprising. Don't unsubscribe if you're like... I know a lot of people... It's a
really good game. People talk really well about it, but you and I have not enjoyed it.
Well, okay, so what I would say about 7 Wonders... This isn't about 7 Wonders. This is about my 29.
Tell me about your 29.
See what you've done?
What was your 29?
He's derailing me. My 29 is I love cats, everybody. I love cats. So this one, again, has a little bit of the card drafting. So that's what he's talking about, where you get a group of cards in your hand, you select a card, you pass it around, and then so eventually your deck will come, the hand of cards you saw at first will come back to you. And then the second part is you have this boat of cats, and so you're trying to save them from the aisle and bring them home in a basket.
On a ship.
Yeah, you put them in a basket. Yes, you put them in a basket, and so then you have this boat. So the second part is you're going to rescue these cats. You have to have a basket to rescue them. You select them, and they're all polyomino shapes. So you put them in your boat, and so you get points based on like how many rooms you filled, what type of cats you have. So if you have more of the same color, then you get a score on that. So there's lots of different like scoring mechanics in the cards and just like building your boat out in itself. And it again is one that is, I would say, easy to teach because again, if you played Sushi Go, you already got the card drafting.
Sure.
And then the tile alignment is almost just like, well, if you played Tetris, you'd kind of understand that you just need to fit. Needed to fit. And so that, I think it's very, very accessible. So yeah, that's why
I'm not surprised this is on your list.
Do you think it was higher?
I thought it was higher.
Yes. I think why it's not is, I don't know, I have a lot of games.
I like this game, so and we've even played it with friends, and so
Mm-hmm.
This is a game that I personally like, so I really thought Bailey would like it too, because most things I like, she likes. So the fact that this is so low on her list, I
but this is good. Anything. So I have, I think, 180 some games.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's in the top 30, like, it's a good damn game, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
So
okay.
So my 29.
Number 29, Isle of Cats.
And there's also, I should say too, so this one has a solo mode, it has a family mode, it has a regular mode.
And didn't we just hear that there's a Kickstarter out for it right now for wood tokens? Isn't that right?
Oh, that could be. Was that on this morning?
Yeah, that was on this morning, I believe. So I think they came out with some sort of thing that you can back on Kickstarter that is going to be a release of sorts. I thought it was wood icons, is what I heard.
Interesting.
Because Mike Delisio was interested in it.
Yes, so Mike has I know he backed it on Kickstarter. They have a Kittens and Beasts expansion and also a big box. So this is just, I have the base game. But if you really like Isle of Cats, there's also a big box. And I did get so it only plays 1 to 4 in the base box, but there's a late arrivals that I did order. I just haven't shipped it for Miniature Market yet. Mm-hmm. But it's like the 5 and 6 player. So it can play up to 5 and 6 with that expansion.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh yeah, so you're number 28. So
my number 28.
Wait, I have to guess.
Yeah. No, you go ahead. I was just looking at the thing.
Don't even look.
Don't even look. All right.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
I think your number 28 is Dice Throne. Okay. I can see that he looks somewhere in his list though. That means spoiler.
Yeah, no. I won't get into that.
Okay.
Bailey wants me to keep things a secret.
Yes, keep it
Here we go.
secret.
My number 28 is Honey Buzz.
Honey Buzz.
Honey Buzz. Okay, so Honey Buzz, I liked it. It did make my number 28. It has a nice theme. You go around and you like pollinate these flowers, and there's different level of flowers that you can pollinate and create like little geometric shapes and stuff. Well, you're
making honey. You're like harvesting honey,
but
and then you can sell it, and it's different prices.
But you also like make pollen. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
There's like rosemary honey, wildflower, cherry blossom, and I'm gonna butcher that, so I'm gonna skip it. Anyway, so you make a bunch of different honeys, and you essentially have to pull tiles, I believe, as your bees go across. Anyway, I think I like Honey Buzz the same reason I like several of the games that you'll see on my list, is it's like building a thing competitively against the other people on the board. Because if I recall, the way this works to collect the resources, your bees sort of travel across, and there's like 1 or 2, however many players, and they travel across and they work through this web of hexagon tiles, and you get to pick what you want and eat them away. So there's like advantageous ways to collect those resources and advantageous ways to then build your honeycomb and create the thing. Mm-hmm. I felt it was similar to like a Catan in a lot of ways. I know, right? But maybe it's just the hexagon. But I'm
not even any dice.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get that. But like, if I was to compare it, like it feels similar. Like I'm not making trades, or like a Splendor. It has like that vibe where I'm like, I feel really competitive in Honey Buzz, and I like a competitive game.
Yeah. Okay. So the competitiveness, I would say he's saying the competitiveness is reminding him of Catan, because nothing else about this is like Catan.
No, I think I know what it is. I think what it is for me is the resource acquisition. I think the fact that you compete for resources is something I like in a game. Because Honey Buzz and Splendor and Catan, it's all about like gathering up sources of funds, and there is a strategic way to do so to compete against the other players, and I think that's actually what I like about Honey Buzz.
It is competitive, because you can block, so it has worker placement in it, so you can go block another person's spot, because if their bee is already there, you have to put 2 of your bees. But that's what I'd say too. The component quality on this thing is like top notch, very nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. Yeah, and it's a fun theme, and the characters were nice and cute. But Honey Buzz was my number 28.
Okay, 28. My 28 No peeking.
Not gonna peek.
Oh yeah, so you're supposed to guess.
Your number 28 I have written down as Azul.
No, you're wrong. But you're wrong. Where is the game I am looking for?
I don't know.
Are you like 39? I'm like, I know it's somewhere. Here it is. Apparently everything that I pick is also like conveniently located behind my back. So this one is Ticket to Ride Europe. So this is I won't speak on it too much. Everybody, well, not everybody knows it, but most people know Ticket to Ride. It is a very accessible game, and I think it is. That's why I pick it. I can play it with my parents. I can play it.
It's easy to teach.
Yeah, with just about anybody, and generally like Catan, like most people you do teach it to, like the game, and they also have an app, and so some people will play, kind of on their app, and I think it's. I don't know, it's just nice to they have all the different maps too, so it's nice because you only have to learn one really like set of rules, but then you're able to kind of just change the map, so it gives you lots more expansion for gameplay. We only have one. I don't say we get this to the table all that often, but it is one that we always take like back for Christmas and stuff like that. So so again on this game, so you're basically going to be going out, just in case you don't know what it is. You're sending out trains and trying to complete different routes, and routes will give you different points, so you get points based on how long your train is, just in general, and then there's some other like scoring objectives on if you get little train routes, they'll be worth like 13 points or something, but then if you take one and you don't get to complete it, you get negative points, so there's kind of a balance there, and there's a lot of good tension with like, I needed to go through there, but then you put your stupid train there, and then now I have to like use a train station. And Ticket to Ride Europe, they have little train stations, but that costs you 4 points. So yeah,
I think that's a good game. It's just, and I think if you're going to teach people, and they're like, I don't really play board games, they've probably heard of Catan or Ticket to Ride or Pandemic. So in that way, I feel like if you're going to bridge the gap and try to get somebody into the hobby, that's a decent one to do so with. Wouldn't you agree with that? Like, people have heard of Ticket to Ride. You can't not have heard of Ticket to Ride. Yeah. Like,
well, you could have not. If you haven't heard of it, and this is your first time hearing about it, let me know.
Yeah. And they have a ton of versions now, so you don't even have to choose the Europe one. I think they have one that's strictly Italy even. And I think they have Japan.
Italy and Japan. It's actually a double-sided board, so you can, like, flip it.
Yeah, so there are other ones.
Yeah. Okay, so you're 27. Oh, I need to guess. 27. Okay, I put The Initiative.
Wrong.
You must not like that. I feel like that was like too much.
I like The Initiative. Okay. You know, I'll say this real quick because, we'll hit what my actual one is. So my number 27. And I'm not going to pull it out because we already pulled it out, is Isle of Cats. So hey. Isle of Cats was my number 27. I like that game a lot, so I'm not going to hound in Bailey's right. Yep. It's a fun polyomino build about cats on a ship. And like I said, there's new Kickstarter stuff coming out, so if you want to look at that, great. But then you thought it was The Initiative, and I just want to say, I like The Initiative, but about The Initiative, it is like a one-time play.
No, it's not. We haven't even.
It feels like a one-time play. Like once I played it once, I'm kind of like,
You're spiraling into a whole different.
Okay, well that was my point. It feels like a one-time play when I play The Initiative.
Okay.
But I could play Isle of Cats several times. So my number 27 was Isle of Cats.
Okay. Oh, guess mine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're number 27 because I started, right?
Yes.
Your number 27, I listed as Carcassonne.
No, but that was not a terrible guess.
Thank you.
Unlike the rest of them, that one wasn't so bad.
I should make it audible when she reached for that part of the shelf, because I know where Carcassonne is.
Yeah, it's up top. We have, everyone, Quacks of Quedlinburg. And I also have the Herb Witches expansion. Dun, 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 dun. So I love Halloween and witches' pots in general. So I just really like the theme. Like, look at this. It's so cute. Little herb witches. So this is, again, like really accessible. It's a push your luck game. You're going to be putting all these tokens into your bag, drawing them out, trying to fill up your pot without busting. I am really bad. Like, thank goodness there's a little catch-up mechanic in this one with the little rat tails, and my rat's like halfway around the thing because I'm always in the needing catch-up. Also, if you get this one, Board Game Geek has Geek Up Bits, is what they call them, and so the tokens, normally the base game comes with cardboard tokens, which is trash, according to Tom Dassel.
Yeah. and I'd say that's an accurate assessment. Yeah. I don't always say that. Tom, I don't always agree with you. But I do agree with this. They were trash. And when Baley got the upgrade bits, which were like Splendor tokens, but small, much better. Well, I shouldn't say Splendor tokens, because they're actually cooler than that. They're, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Oh, on that one, sure. They're like semi-translucent, too. But having that weight, when you reach into a bag, not to pull out cardboard,
yeah, and
it was worth it.
The sound of it.
And was it expensive? It wasn't that bad.
I will say the components are almost like equal price to the game.
Were they?
But in hindsight,
there's a lot of components in this particular
Yes, there is a lot of components, and it kind of is. I don't know.
They could be cheaper now, maybe.
They could be cheaper now, and they also have sales every once in a while. Well, they're always sold out, so like if they're in stock, you gotta like nab them fast.
Yeah. But I think this is a fun game that many of our friends enjoy, and I think it is substantially more enjoyable to have quality components rather than the base
the cardboard. Yeah, it's no fun to like put. Even just the sound of the tokens, I like those. So so that is Quacks of Quedlinburg. My number 27.
Okay. Now you get to guess my number 26. 26. Ooh, this is a good one.
Okay,
I like this one.
Okay, so my 26 for Wyatt. Mansions of Madness.
No, it was not. It was not Mansions of Madness. It was, my number 26 is Lost Cities.
Oh, okay. So I guess that was number 30. I think that is like, we don't really know how we're going to do the points yet for like who gets guessing, but like I think that's worth something.
So Lost Cities, I enjoyed this. This is like early on when Baley and I were starting to play games, and Baley was like,
your brother got this for us for Christmas.
Did he?
Yeah. Kyle.
Well, there you go. So my brother Kyle apparently got this for us. And he's kind of a board gamer to an extent. Yeah. But what I was going to say is that when I was starting out in my board game journey, or whatever you want to call that, Baley was really into it. So she was like, hey, I want to play these games. But she became acutely aware that not every game was meant for me. This is one of those games that I think if you have people who are competitive, and if somebody's really competitive with this game, I feel like it's simplistic. It has like a nice mechanism. It has a fold-out board that is, probably 5 to 6 inches by 15 inches. So like, I mean, it's just a long, narrow board that you build cards out. And it's definitely 2-player. I don't believe it plays any more than 2. It's just 2.
Just 2.
And it's pretty straight up card game that goes 1 through 10. It doesn't have a 0, I don't believe. It does have this like little shaking hand component where you can like multiply. But it's a fun game and it's a quick game. So if you ever had to teach somebody, especially a couple, I would say, and one of you is more interested than the other, Lost Cities was good for me. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I like board games more after learning Lost Cities.
Yes. I would say so it takes 30 minutes to play, if that. I feel like we get through it before that. But to set up, it takes like 2 minutes. Like there's just literally a deck of cards.
The board literally unfolds into a, like I said, like a 6 inch by 15 inch.
I think you're even giving it too much credit. It's much smaller.
Yeah, and then you just throw cards in rows. So I mean, and anybody who's not into board gaming has probably played some version of cards, and I feel like the mechanics are there to quickly transition. Okay, so next is Baley's number 26. I think that your number 26 is Cubitos.
No, but that's not bad. It is Wingspan.
Wingspan.
So, this is Wingspan. Wingspan is also one that's like incredibly popular, so you probably know, so I won't belabor into it. But the reason I'm putting it on my list, it also has a nice, I think it comes with a family variant as well, and not that we don't have any children. We have 2 dogs, but, sorry. So not that I really need the family variant, but if you have kids, there's also like a little more lightweight. There's also a solo mode, and I actually really like the solo mode. So I played, I think that's what kind of like, because I don't think you've ever loved this game.
I haven't loved it.
But I think you need to play it more, because
maybe I don't understand the mechanics well enough.
You would love it. So it's competitive against each other. It's an engine builder. So your engine builder, you have 3 kind of like, the areas where your birds kind of go. There's like 3 different like eggs, and there's like the water part anyway, so you're kind of like building it up, because each time you go across the column, you get better rewards as you go. So you're kind of like trying to build an engine effectively that way. So that part I think you would like really
People do love this game. Mm-hmm. It's insane how much love there is for it. And I'm always surprised, because and people harp about how good the artwork is, and it's good. It's just, some artwork you like and some artwork you don't.
Well, and it also, so it's very educational too in a way, because like if you want to read, there's like all the facts on the cards about the birds. So normally I wasn't a bird person, but I do find it like kind of cute to like look at the thing. Like if you're waiting for somebody else to take their turn, you could at least like look at your card. But you
feel like it's pretty competitive though, and I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I play it and I just don't feel competitive at all. I don't even feel that I'm in a competition. I feel like we're doing 2 distinct things. And at the end, you score them up and hope you win. So you think
there's not enough interaction for you?
Yeah.
But so we get to steal each other's resources, though. So you'd roll dice through this little birdhouse. It's adorable. It's a dice tower birdhouse. So you roll them through, and then the resources will have worms and all these other food for your birds. And so those resources that come up, like you can take them,
Yeah,
and then,
that's true.
There's that's a little bit. I think there's that, and then also just taking the birds that you want.
It felt like a solo game played by 2 people, and at the end you scored. And that's how it felt. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, but so it is my number 26 on the basis. Honestly, probably because it has the solo variant, which allows me to get it to the table more, because it's not his favorite. So, but if anybody else wants to play Wingspan with me,
anyone. And don't get me wrong, it's for sure loved. I'm in the minority. I know for a fact people love Wingspan. Like, so when I say it just wasn't for me, it's just not for me. But it is for a lot of people.
Okay. My number 25 guessing for you.
Okay.
Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Mm-mm.
He says.
But do you want me to use any verbiage after that?
No, whatever. You're like...
Okay. My number 25 is Architects of the West Kingdom.
Oh. It's red. So my boxes are color, size, and color coordinated. So you'd think it'd be a little bit easier to find stuff.
Okay. Architects. I enjoy this game. It's got a big board, I would feel like, for me personally. Baley plays games at bigger boards, but it's a pretty big board in my opinion, and it's got quite a bit of things going on, and you take your people and you land on these spots, and once you're in that spot you get to do the action in the spot. Am I describing that? I don't know what that term would be, but like
work replacement. Yeah.
Okay, so work replacement. So it's got a nice medieval like
placement. I think you said work replacement. Worker placement.
Worker placement. Or work replacement. I don't know. I didn't feel like I was working that hard. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good game. I like the artwork in it. It's a little cartoony. It's like, Knights of the Round Table sort of like theme, where they're like chainmail and peasants and like bards and things like that. And you can send people to jail, and it also has like an engine building effect. The more people you get to a certain location, the more actions you can do at that location. I find that interesting. The biggest thing for me that probably makes this higher on my list than some of the other games around here that would be similar to would be, well, am I right at? I'm trying to decide if that's why I like this. I was about to say something, but I was like, is that why I like it? I think I like it because there's multiple avenues to win. And because whenever Baley makes me play a game I've never played before, I can get trounced in a game that has a linear thinking. And this has like 10 different paths I would say you could win. You could like resource collect and pick up these character cards, and the character cards can do all these things, or you can go up the faith track, or you could go into the, is it sin?
Yeah, it's like you can be good or bad. So
yeah,
there's
you can be good or bad. And then there's a money track and a religion track that are like based on those that get like these unique point scores that you couldn't get otherwise. So I think the fact that this has so many avenues to win in a game that's so diverse, it's nice to have not be pigeonholed. Like you're like, oh, I messed up. This is 45 minutes of my life and I for sure lost. I don't think that's the case in this game. I think you're like, oh, I took a different path. It's not what I thought I was going to start out with, but there's definitely an avenue to win at the end.
Yep.
That's why I like Architects.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good game.
Yeah. Okay. That was my number 25, Architects of the West Kingdom. Okay. Bailey's number 25, I put down as Cryptid.
No, but that's not a bad guess either. So it's actually Eldritch Horror.
Oh.
So I'm debating whether I'm gonna get it out. It's like dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's got a lot of things on it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, oh, I'm debating, but I will do it. So this is Arkham
It's
Horror
now
card
going to move
game.
to number 31.
It's not worth getting out. There's too much.
You want me to do it? Or?
Yeah, and this is actually gonna be bad too when I shift it. There we go.
It doesn't sound as bad as I thought.
Okay, it didn't actually. Okay, this is, everyone, softly do this. Eldritch Horror. There's a ton of components in this box, and so that's why I normally store it horizontally. It's like one of my only ones that I keep horizontally because I'm actually going to show you this because this is kind of comical. So in this box, there are so many components that this is how I actually put, and I don't know if everybody else does it like this, so let me see if I can.
Do you want me to...
Oh, it's okay. It's just kind of funny. So this is how many cards you can just kind of see in the the top of this box here. So this is why like I do not like to turn it, because then all my stuff falls out. So in Eldritch Horror, so I typically play this one solo because this is not Wyatt's favorite cup of tea. So I usually just run 2 investigators, and my girl is Trish. Where's Trish? She's normally on top. Oh, I was going to show her to you. She's normally on the top. She gets a clue token if she doesn't have one. Trish, here she is.
Yes. There she is.
There she is. Trish, she is awesome. She's my girl. So I always play this one solo. So basically you have a different Lovecraftian mythos, creature, whatever you want to call it. So there's Cthulhu, like Yog-Sothoth, all these things that I'm probably
Those sound like real words.
pronouncing incorrectly. But it's really cool. So you go around basically, and there's a lot of just like dice rolling to make sure, like to see if you're going to get successes or not. So you'll go through kind of each round, and you basically have a couple phases. So you have your investigator phase, and then the actual monsters phase. And so you're trying to go through and defeat the monster, close all these gates. He's constantly trying to like come and attack you, and then you need to get clues and solve these 3 mysteries of the old one, is what they call it, in time, and then you win. And so it's kind of like the different ones have a different setup. So this one, for instance, like Shub Ngararoth. I should not pronounce things. It's just doing me no favors. Starts on 13 Doom. So like you can also kind of look at that if you want to see like how long of a game you want to play. Cthulhu I think starts at 9. But yeah, I've played this one a ton. And I think it's just a really great game. If you're in for like just a more of a fun experience, so it's less on the strategy because it's a lot of dice rolls. There is strategy like involved, like you have to figure out like where you want to go, what you want to do, how you're gonna get all these clue tokens and manage this and that, because it is like it's a hard game, like it'll beat you up. But yeah, I love it. So Eldritch Horror. Wyatt does not like it. I'm not even gonna let him talk about it. It's a great game.
it. That's why I'm sitting here in silence, because this is not going to be on my list.
Surprise! No spoilers there.
I don't want to get anybody's hopes up for my number 24.
Yes, but Eldritch Horror. Also, so I I love like just a spooky vibe. So anyone who's a game designer, listen to me. Give me spooky, but like maybe don't give me Cthulhu. I don't really need tentacles. Like I'll play, the game, but like I'm not really in it for the tentacles. But I like the spooky like spookiness to it. But yes, so Eldritch Horror, it's a part of the Arkham universe. Very good game. So, my number 20 is that 25? 24.
That was 25 for
25.
you.
Okay.
My number 24. What do you think?
It is Ruthless.
It was not.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it is. I was gonna
No.
I was trying to decide like what can I do? Can I do like a jump or something?
24 was Carcassonne, the big box.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you don't have to get it.
Okay, we're gonna leave it up. It's the big box.
And it's up on the high shelf, and there's 3 other games on top of it.
Yes.
But without getting out Carcassonne.
And people know what Carcassonne is.
Yeah, it's been around forever. Yeah. So I like that, especially the big box, that expansions and different styles to play the same game that I've already played before. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of like random draw tiles that you then have to quickly and strategically set up to A, thwart your opponent, but B, advantageously create something that you have control of. It has and I don't know if this is in the regular one, but you get a big meeple.
Yes.
And little meeples, and so like kind of balancing out that like when to deploy your big meeple to really take advantage of certain territories and close them up when possible, or like steal them from an opponent. Carcassonne just has a lot of strategy. It does take up a lot of space, but good game, and I'll leave it at that. Most people know Carcassonne.
Yeah, if you're playing with a lot of expansions. If you just get the base game, it's very manageable. There's not that many tiles. But every time you play with an expansion, it just adds in the different expansion tiles as well. So then that's when your board can start getting like really big.
And it says it plays 2 to 6 people, and it says 35 minutes on there. But if you play 2 people, I don't think it goes 35 minutes.
No, I don't think so either.
It takes a while. Like if you get a lot of people, it goes quick. Because everyone's kind of sabotaging each other, and you're just like, I just got this throwaway.
I think you could actually watch on YouTube you can Google like the Carcassonne Championship or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think I feel like those people can get it done in like 20 minutes, and that's even when they're like grinding championship,
So my number 24, I believe, was Carcassonne. So yes. Bailey, your number 24, I put down as Horrified.
No, but that is not a bad game at all. I tell you, this is like really funny how many games are like so centrally located near me.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, everyone. So I freaking love this game. This is like my accounting like heart's love. So the money management in this game is like, ooh, so good. He's always in debt. Could never like figure his shit out. I'm
always taking loans, and it kills me at the end.
So this one, but it is thanky. Like you got to be like in it.
It's
like,
another game that has so many avenues to win.
It does,
but it almost feels overwhelming because so this is what I'll say. This feels overwhelming to me, whereas Architects doesn't, because Architects' board is so much bigger that it felt spread out. Mm-hmm. Crystal Palace's board is so much smaller with so many things going on that sometimes I'm like,
Crystal Palace doesn't have a solid board. It is.
But, is it just the way we're lining it up?
It has little modules, so it's like you have just like 8 different worker placement spots basically, and you actually have dice. Your workers are dice, and so the way you get to figure out who's going to go first in the order is based on who has the highest dice. Well, so you're like, well, why don't you just put the highest dice in there? Well, the nice thing about it is, so instead of most games where you have dice, you might roll them, and then you're just kind of luck with, like, there's a little bit of that. No. In Crystal Palace, you get to set your dice to whatever value you want.
If you can afford it.
With the caveat that if you can afford it. So you only start the game with $40, or $40,000, or whatever.
And this is why you call it a money management.
Yes.
Because the whole thing is, like, dictated by the amount of funds.
I guess, it's in the 1867, like, World's Fair or something. Is that the right word?
I think that is right. Year? It is the World's Fair. I don't know about 1867, but it is the World's Fair.
1851 in London was the World's Fair.
Yeah.
I'm not good at history, so the fact that I was here...
Well, I think you have a World's Fair every year, though, right?
I don't know.
Is that right? I don't know.
I have no idea. Don't ask me questions that make me look stupid.
I don't know the answer here, so...
So yeah, so I absolutely love this one. This is one that where I didn't win. So like I made him replay it with me so many times until I could win though. So we were playing with him and Imra, and it was like one of you guys would both just win, and I was just like, But then now I think I've like got it down. But yeah, getting managing your income and like what you want to do, it's just like so crunchy thinking, and I think my favorite part about it is honestly like setting the dice, thinking about what I want it to be, and then how do I get all my actions that I want to do. So yeah, that is my 24 Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for 23, so Bailey's going to take a guess at my number 23. Oh,
shoot. So last time I said Ruthless was your 24. That is what I thought your 23 was. I thought your 24 was Azul Summer Pavilion.
And it was Carcassonne.
Yeah. Okay,
so now,
Ruthless is what I thought was your 23.
Okay, so you thought it was Ruthless. It is Radlands.
Huh, R.
That was close. So Radlands.
And we have the deluxe Kickstarter edition.
We do. This has got a nice game. It's got a nice game mat that goes with it as well.
That you can open it, actually.
Well, I mean, I'll leave that up to you if you want to open it. What I liked about it, is it only 2-player, right?
Yes, 2-player.
So it's only 2-player. I thought the components were good. It has a Mad Max theme. These player mats are definitely worth it to make it more intriguing.
And it has where you could set your actions too, so everything has a nice space.
It's not complicated. I think it's very easy to learn, and it also doesn't take that long of a time, which I personally enjoy. I don't like games that just drag on forever. So this is a quick, like, 2-person, combat it out real quickly, and everything, as far as components-wise, everything was made very nicely, at least in this version that we have.
Yeah, so we have the Kickstarter, like, fancy version with the mats. So normally if you buy the retail version, you just get this little box that's inside. Mm-hmm. But I highly recommend if they're selling this at retail with the mats, to go ahead and get them, and then it just gives you like an upsized box because it also fits better in your shelves.
I don't even think this would make the spot on my top 30 if we didn't have the mats.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because otherwise I'd be like, like these cards are just thrown out, and having the mats puts it in a format where it feels more like you're playing like loading them into a slot and deploying them. But without the mat, it would feel just hodgepodge, I think. For me. But my number 23, Radlands.
Okay.
Okay, your number 23, I put down as... So your number 24 I put down as Horrified. Mm-hmm. Your number 23, I'm going to go with Small World. Nope.
That one is a spoiler, not on my top 30. Oh. I will take that one. Okay,
so Bailey gets to do spoilers, but I'm not allowed to say anything.
Well, because I rated 180 games, you only rated 66, so it's a little different.
And those 66 are top-notch choice.
Why am I having such a hard time?
I don't know.
Do you see it? Oh, here, that's right here. My number 23 is Jaipur.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so this, so simple, 2-player game. We took it to Italy with us when we got married, and we played it. He drank this delicious red wine, way too much of it.
Was that night?
Yes, yeah. We were like sitting out, we were in Tuscany, and like brought it with us out on like this beautiful balcony. Mm-hmm. And then so we had, it was like I don't know what the wine was, but it was good. It was like a mix of maybe like a rosé meets like a champagne of sorts. Yeah. So it just like went down like too fast.
It's easy. And we were early wine drinkers back then, but it's easy in Italy to drink too much wine.
Oh yeah, so it's everywhere. It's cheaper than water to get the wine.
It's all good, and so then, I normally I'd be like, no, I didn't drink too much. I did. In Italy, I did.
Okay, so back to my number 23, Jaipur, which is not set in Italy. So this is a 2-player only game. It's very simple. Again, you kind of have this like. You're doing set collection, so you want to like balance between getting cards, and then you want to where the meaty part is like when do you turn them in, because you're going to be collecting up these things. The longer you wait and the more you get, the more points you get when you go to sell that.
Yeah.
And so each time, like, as people keep selling them, like the green, for instance, might be worth like 5. The first green you sell will be worth 5. The next 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you also get an extra bonus chip with a mystery, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anytime you get, like, so there's this little thing where they all look the same on one side, but on the bottom, so say you trade in 3 resources.
Yeah.
You'll get the trade in 3 resources bonus chip, and then on the bottom of that will be, like, a mystery points that you get. So I also just love, like, seeing what that is. But this is very accessible. Like, I played this with my mom. Of course, I play with you all the time. So it is 2-player only, so, I mean, you can't go... I don't know, I guess, like, play with a big group by any means, but I highly recommend it, like, as a couple, you should have this.
Yeah.
So,
good, quick game.
Yeah.
The one thing, don't you think the one thing that make it better would be even higher quality components?
They're
pretty nice, but,
they
like...
could make a deluxe edition, actually, maybe, and instead of having, like, this, they have cardboard chip tokens.
Because you could do Splendor-style tokens, and I would be like, yes.
Yeah, just that wouldn't be bad, just as, like, because it's definitely a staple we'll leave in our collection forever, so. Yeah. And then there's also, okay, so this is what we call Pandy. So the little panda. So all the other Campbells don't have a panda.
Yeah, but there is one with the panda. It's the weirdest thing, but yeah, we're like, oh, you got the Pandy Campbell.
Yeah.
It's
my favorite. It's like bonus points. It's not bonus points, but to me, in my head, I'm like, it's bonus points. Okay, so yeah, my number 23, Jaipur.
So, my number 22.
Oh, I need to guess it.
You sure do.
You sure do. I've only been doing this for
8 games
a little bit. Okay, well, so I need to also turn this sideways. That would help me, because I keep having to, like, scroll backward. Okay. I am learning, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your number 22, I think, is Istanbul.
No.
Okay. What is it?
I'm just looking at Istanbul. My number 22 is The Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Okay, so I have guessed 2. I've guessed 2 so far that have been on this list.
Yeah.
So I'm totally kicking your butt. I mean, now granted, you have a lot harder job to do.
You've named some. You definitely named things that are on my list for sure as things you think are there. Lost Ruins of Arnak. I won't go into this one too much. I'm going to say this is similar to how I reviewed Architects of the West Kingdom, that there's just so many avenues to win. I do like there's a path on the right side of the board. I don't know if the board's always set up the same. I think it is. Yes, it is. Where you can, like, travel up and you have to, like, unlock achievements to move higher up. And it's similar to Architects of the West Kingdom in, like, the religion track or the money track. Like, you just have to, like, you pick a path and go with it, and you sort of carve your way up the side of the board, and it's worth more points or different gems, and you can use those different gems to unlock different monster battle. I forget what the locations you're going to are called, but are we raiding tombs? You go
on an expedition, and I'm trying to decide what they.
But
it's like you're exploring an area.
Yeah, you're like exploring old ruins. That's what I'm gonna call it. But the Lost Ruins. So when Baley brings
what are we exploring?
But it's totally Indiana Jones themed. I think I grew up watching, like, Indiana Jones, and so playing it is a little bit of, like, okay. I mean, the guy looks straight up like young Indiana Jones. It's like Harrison Ford in his prime.
I feel like he looks like you.
Oh, thanks.
Almost, right? With, like, a Derek Huff nose.
Sure.
Take Wyatt and Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars.
And then make us tan, because I don't think either one of us are very tan, and this guy's kind of tan, although he could be covered in dirt.
It's just dirt.
But Indiana Jones themed. I think it's similar mechanics to a lot of other games that I play, like multiple ways to win, and it's competitive. How many people did it play? 1 to 4, it says. I can see that. It's fun with 2. It says it takes about 30 minutes.
Per player.
That sounds about right. Sometimes I feel like it does take you and I 45 to a little over an hour to play a game, but I think in the past we might have scored it wrong or something. Yeah, there's something weird that happened. But anyway, my number 22, Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Okay.
And Bailey's number 22, and I know it's going to be right. I've selected Architects of the West Kingdom.
No.
Okay.
It is right over here.
Oh, God.
I knew you were never going to put this on your list. Wyatt hates this game.
It's not my worst game ever.
So this is Awkward Guess. So my, like, favorite game as a child, like, you know, Hasbro board games, is Clue. Or if you just are new to board gaming and you've just joined in, welcome. This is something that's kind of like Clue. You should get this. So this is Awkward Guess. I play this one solo, honestly. So the multiplayer experience is fun, but so you basically what happens, let me start there, sorry. You have a murder, so you know that this guy, he's just very unattractive too. Like, I don't even know that, like, you feel bad, like, about murdering him, or the fact that he's murdered. Actually, the artwork on everybody, they're just
really interesting.
Very interesting looking people. Like, everybody has, like, a slightly, like, they just overdo their traits in, like, a way that's, like, shouldn't have done
They're very
that.
characterized.
Yes, yeah. So anyway, so he is going to die. So the Walton case. Mm-hmm. So Walton will die, and then so he works with an app, and then you have these cards when you play the solo. Do you have to have an app? No, you don't have an app when we play it.
Yeah, I didn't know there was an app.
So when you play it solo, well, the app is for when you want to do the guess. So instead of Clue, how you have where you'd put stuff in the envelope, this actually has just so many cases. So it'll just pop you up a random one, and then you can just check in the app, and then when you want to, like, submit for, like, I know who the murderer was and all of that. Mm-hmm. So basically on this one, it's kind of like Clue, but you already know who was murdered.
Yeah.
So instead of guessing some of the things, you have to guess who did the murder, and then it is what weapon they are, and you already know what room the person was murdered. They're always murdered in the study. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I feel like you're like, mm-hmm.
No, I'm listening. Yeah. So no, proceed. It's a fun game if you like Clue.
Yeah, so you have a little thing, a little model of the house, and so each room has different weapons in it, and so you go through, you'll get cards that'll be like, the housekeeper said that Claudia was never in the dining room. So then you have these pathways, you can be like, okay, well, she never went to the dining room, then you, like, mark out all these things, and then that's how you do your deduction.
Oh, but sometimes you don't know it as fact. Sometimes it's like a rumor.
Sometimes people can lie to you. So sometimes you can't just take, like, you might have to, like, double ask about something in case you get, like, another card that, like, then double confirms it. The police will never lie to you. There's a couple people that will never lie to you, but the guests themselves, the housekeepers will never lie.
This box is nice, though.
Yeah, it's like a little briefcase.
Yeah, they did nice artwork on the box.
So yeah, so that is Awkward Guess. It is basically just I highly recommend it solo predominantly, but it is fun to play with multiple player too. But if you're looking for a solo game, this has a ton of content in it because there's so many cases, and they'll just randomly generate it on the app. So there's essentially, like, hardly any setup. The only thing that does take a while is so the cards are numbered. So you'll have to, like, it'll tell you what card you get to read, so you have to, like, shuffle it out of the deck, and just putting those back sometimes takes a little bit, but me personally, I like to organize things, so I consider that a bonus. So this is my 22 Awkward Guess.
Awkward Guess. Okay.
Last one.
Yes, rounding out
21.
The 30 through 21, my number 21, what do you think it is?
See if I can get it on the head.
You're not going to get this.
Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
Nope.
Okay.
Wonderlands War.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was good. Oh, I didn't realize this is a big box.
Oh, yeah.
Next time I pick my list, I'm going to pick smaller boxes. That's how I'm going to start picking favorites. This game's fun. Is it my... obviously it's not my favorite, but it's like... I thought that the characters, the drawings, the animation, bless you.
Thank you.
I thought everything artistically done in this game is done really, really well. The meeples or people characters that they'd made, I thought they did a really good job on. Yeah, the box is huge.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
But everything is just well designed. It has this theme where you go around the board and sort of put people in... Right, I'm thinking of the right game. Where you put people at the party?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So...
there's a tea party phase and then a war
Yeah,
phase.
Tea party phase. So you go and you place people of, like, these 6 locations, depending on how many people you're playing. It could be up to 6, I think 6 to 8, maybe, I don't know. And you, essentially are warring at these locations. No, locations on the board to go to.
I'm sorry. I thought you said how many people play.
Yeah. So, and you slowly like sort of gather a hand of like an engine build of characters who help improve your ability to play this game. Like you might have Humpty Dumpty or like the horse that does some special thing. Anyway, but they all enhance your ability to play the game in future rounds, and you can strategically deploy them, and their special moves sometimes allow them to jump from like the swamp to the candy land, or what, I can't remember the names, but
Swamp to the candy.
The overall, my point was that it's a good competitive game. It has a nice rotary sort of movement that happens for scoring and placing. But lastly, everything was just really well made.
So we do have the deluxe edition on Kickstarter, and
so maybe that's why everything was. Really
so good. Similarly to Quacks as well. No, my tokens are in here. So there's also like. It has upgraded chips as well, just like Quacks does. So there is an option when you buy the game. So you can even get the retail base game, but then you can just get the chip set. And I highly recommend the chip set. I wouldn't play it without the chip set, just how we are with Quacks. I think it's like once you've gone there, you can't go back.
Yeah, it's a good game. So my number 21 is Wonderlands War. Now, Bailey's number 21, and I have not got a single right for her. So I doubt this is right, but Ishtar.
No, but that's not a bad guess. But it is Forbidden Desert. Okay, so this one, all my like true gamers are gonna be like, "This is trash," but I freaking love this game. I think I've played it like 100 times.
She's played it a lot.
It's like my pieces are wearing down. I have played it so much. So, because I played this one solo, and it is so much fun to play solo. So it's actually a cooperative game, so it plays the exact same. This is why I love cooperative games, honestly, is just to get them to play solo. Because it plays the exact same rule set as if I'm going to play with him, I just play by myself. So I usually just run 2 or 3 people. There's also a nice little scoring on the side where it has like an expert, legendary, elite. So I basically have like tried to win on every single player count on every single level. So it just like, it gives me that whole thing where I'm just like, I can just play it all the time. And I usually put on like an audiobook like in the background because I've played it so much, and it's not like so thinky like after you've played it 100 times like me that you can like do other stuff. Wouldn't you say
it's also one of your primary first games? Like it's like
yes,
out of the 180 some games off the top of my head, Bailey's owned this one in the top 20 of her first games. Sure. She bought this one. Yeah. And so maybe that's a factor too.
Yeah, it is. It's probably like a little nostalgia.
Yeah. Like you played it a lot, and as she got more and more into board games, this was one she owned and she played it a ton.
Yes. Yeah. So it's so simple. So the setup takes like hardly any time, and like you can whip out a game in like 20 minutes. It says 45. It doesn't take me 45 minutes. Because, well, again, when you're playing with yourself, there's no talking about like what you want to do. It's just, I just do what I want. Yeah. So anyways, Forbidden Desert, you're going through and basically trying to rescue yourself from this island. So the island is constantly getting filled up with sand, and so you're trying to go over and flip over all these tiles to find your missing ship parts and get off of the island before you're either buried or run out of water, or the third way is if I forget there's a little track thing. If it gets all the way to the top, you're done. Yeah. So yeah, it is a great game to play solo or with a family. I say if you have kids, or also if you're just getting into gaming, it is a or want to like experience cooperative gaming. I cannot talk. I
do think you're right though. I think this would be a good family game because I think the fact that you pick up the pieces and you put them together and they actually build a little thing on the side. Like I could see somebody playing with it. 8-year-old? What's the thing?
It says ages 10 and up.
No, that's probably about right. But like I can see an 8-year-old enjoying it as well. Yeah. But like somebody in that range, you could probably teach a kid this game as a harder game, and they would be like, "Oh, I like this,"
Yes. Or an adult like myself who is just every once in a while a game.
It's not a kid game per se.
Yeah, but like.
But kids could like this game.
Kids could like it, and you will like it too. Because it is my number 21. So yeah. So that is our 30 through 21. So next up, we'll be going through our 20 through 19. Wait, no.
21 through 11. No, 20 through 11.
We should cut this out. This makes it sound...
20 through 11.
20 through 11. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. It always weirds me out where I want to go to like 30 to 20, but then I'm like, wait, 19?
It's just weird sometimes. Anyway, we will see you next time, and it'll be our 20 through 11.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Let us know in the comments. Anything. Give us heckles. Give us congratulations. Whatever.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying it, like it, subscribe to it. Like I say, we're going to have more, so.
Yeah. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys.